Hello, welcome back, Steve's Retirement Corner. Uncharted waters in retirement. That's what I'm in right now, Doc. With that stock market dropping like it did last week, you know how bad how bad it bothers me when I take out my distribution every year. And I ain't done nothing but take it out of my 401 and put it in the daggone checking account. But to see that money gone, it bothered me. I mean, I'm okay with it now. It don't bother me anymore. I mean, I understand that's the whole purpose I put that money in there to begin with, and to use right now when I'm retired. So, I don't mean I like it any better, but I understand how it works, and I'm fine with it. But to see that money come out last week like it did, and I didn't have, it wasn't my fault. It was something that was going to concern me in retirement. I think that first year I thought about it. Would I panic and sell, or would I just stay the course, or what I would do? Because you don't ever know until you get out there and you start doing it, man. You just don't know. It's easy to say, yeah, man, I'm just going to buy, or just hold tight. When you ain't bringing in a check, and you're depending on that 401 to live on, like me and millions of other people, you're not quite as tough or brave as you think you are. And I was worried that might happen to me. I didn't know whether it was going to be business as usual or what had happened. Well, I found out last week. I was pretty much business as usual. I bought a little bit last week, and I'll keep an eye on it, for the next few months as it goes down. I plan on dollar cost averaging going as it goes down. Keep an eye on it. As it drops more, I'll buy a little more. It's what I used to do when I was working. Every time the market would have a hiccup like this, drop 15-20%, I'd stick a little bit in there. My 401, I always had a little bit of cash in there. All of it wasn't invested in the stock market, just like now. And whenever it happened, I'd just roll it over into the stock portion of it. And that's the same thing. Essentially the same thing I'm doing now. So, I consider my 401 as all the money we got, and I try to keep it as close as to where it was the day I left planned. Right now it's not because it dropped, but at the first of the year it was right there. So, heck, man, the last 2 years a 5-year-old could have made money in the market. It wasn't that difficult, I was at a 60-40, so I didn't make as much as everybody else, but I always covered what I'd taken out from my distribution. This year that won't happen. I'll have to go out of the bank, pull out the bank. But that's what I got them 2 or 3 years cash in the bank for, to cover me in a year like this. And I'll roll I'll roll a piece of my 401, my cash in my 401 into my stocks, and a little at a time. Because I ain't fishing for the daggone bottom of the market. I'm not trying to time the market. I'm just buying on sales the way I look at it. It's the same way I thought about it when I was working. Now you old heads out there that have been through something like this, been retired for a few years, it probably ain't that big a deal to you. But for me, this is my first time going through it, and I was concerned how I'd react. That's why I went into retirement overly conservative. I was high in my cash portion. Because what I did was I locked down these first 10 years. I didn't have to worry about what the market done. I had enough to cover me to 10 years. That got me to Social Security. And I could get a little help from Uncle Sam and get my Social Security. You know what I mean? So that's the way it worked. But so I was surprised. I really was. Because you don't know how you're going to react, man. It's easy to act tough when it ain't happening to you, but once it happens, man, it'll shake you up. And most people are living off of their 401, any savings they got. And when they take a big hit like just happened, You know, it'll spook you, and it's got a right to. Because I mean, you ain't got no other way of making money but taking distributions. You know, I had to take distribution. If I would have waited till I was 67 and retired and I was full Social Security age, I wouldn't need it. Because that plus my little pension, you know, it covered me. That was my plan. I only had to build a 10-year retirement plan. A lot of people got to build a 20, 30, 40-year retirement plan. I only had to get to Social Security. And once I did that there plus my little pension to cover me for right on and on. So, you know, I don't know, man. But if you ain't got a cash buffer, times are tough right now. They're gonna be tough because you're gonna have to double dip and lock in some losses if you need money. So I mean, you got to do what you think's right, whether you pull out or whether you just hold steady or whether you invest. I look at this as a man-made problem. Man can fix it. It's not a normal business cycle. It's not an unusual situation that happened that caused it. So I just have to wait till they figure it out. I don't know, man. Hey, man, this is a financial video, so be sure and read that daggone disclaimer down in the show notes. And remember, this is just entertainment, man. It's I ain't qualified to give anybody any advice on anything. Trust me. It's just what I do. I've always done it. And I figure in a few months things will mellow out. I look for it to be up and down every day for a while. I mean, look today. I mean, I think they said the Dow so far made a 2,000 point swing, largest one-day swing in history or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to shake out, but I'm trying to catch everything on sale. It's just the way I did it, and I was surprised, and it worked out perfect for me, man. I mean, it was what I was wanting to do to begin with, because I went in overly conservative, and I've been retired for a couple of years, and I see how things are working out. I got enough to cover me for 2 or 3 years in some kind of cash account. So I was wanting to move things over. You know, it's a unfortunate wrinkle for me. You know, I wasn't wishing anybody no ill will about it, because a lot of people don't have the backup I got, and they need that money, whether the market's down or not. But for me, I was hoping it would drop a little bit so I could, catch the Kmart Blue Light special. So we'll see. Hey, man, I could lose my shirt. It's a gamble. I like my odds, though. It could go down. I could keep going down right on for the next decade, I don't really see that happening. But it's a possibility. I figure it'll shake out. And then, to be honest with you, I did a video last year, I believe it was, where the last trading day of the year was what was important. That's the most important day for me, because that dictates where I pull my money, whether I pull it out the bank if it's down, or whether I pull it out the daggone my investments out of my 401, which I can't do that technically because I'm bound by their restrictions. But as soon as I'll be able to roll my 401 into an IRA, so I won't be bound by that next year. I can take out what I want instead of them determining what I get. And let me tell you, Doc, they determine a lot more than I would determine, I can tell you that. Because I'm on a 10-year payout plan, which means I get a certain amount once a year, every year, until my account's gone from with them. And all I do with the extra is just stick it in the bank, or either I put it in a brokerage account or whatever. I let it ride in that money market for the year, and then at the end of the year, what's left, I'll just move over somewhere. It's just the way it worked out for me. It got fortunate, everything come into play at a perfect time for me. I don't know, man. Y'all take care of yourselves, man. You try and think about it before you make any big moves. You know, don't make a decision out of fear. I don't know, man. But I'm buying a little bitty, you know, I'll keep an eye on it going forward from here, and I'll buy a little bit more if it drops anymore. You know, a dollar cost average my way back in. And hopefully I'll catch a ride coming back up. We'll see. I kind of figure things usually revert to the mean. You know, after 2 huge years like that where everybody was making money left and right, you know, I kind of figured something was coming. I don't know. But I was kind of hoping for it. So, but y'all take care of yourselves, man. Yeah, make it a great week if you can. Turn it off cool down here. It's pouring down rain out there right now. Even supposed to frost on Wednesday, I believe. I reckon I'll wait till after Wednesday before I put my garden in, if it's dry enough. But y'all take care, man, and we'll talk to y'all later.